Our podcast originated from two inquisitive women walking around and listening to the city offered a general, interesting, and inspiring life stories of their own. I hope find their stories fun and valuable as we do. Hello everyone, we are here at Studio 40 in New York City. Hello everyone, thanks for coming back to Studio 40. This is the podcast by Yuko and Debbie. We have today a guest, Miss Rita Mittman. Hello, Rita.
Hi, good morning. Nice to be here.
I'm so happy you're here today.
Me too. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. So, right off the bat, can we ask you about your childhood? Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
I grew up a poor kid in the East Bronx. Now they call it the South Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty good childhood. My mother gave us unconditional love. Mm-hmm. If you were fat, if you were thin, if you had short hair, long hair, it was unconditional love. And when I had a date, we had a huge hall mirror. And I'd walk in front of the mirror just to look as I was walking out. And my mother would always say, "Isn't she pretty?" And I would die a few deaths. I got married very young. Oh, my father was demanding. So if you had a 95, it wasn't good enough. So he produced 3 very successful children. Mm-hmm. And his was not unconditional love.
Oh, okay.
How?
Yeah. And I got married very young. It was during Korea.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated. I got married to the love of my life.
Where did you meet your spouse?
We met on a blind date. A friend of mine, who I'm still friends with, I'm 88. We're friends for 81 years. Mm-hmm. And she made the blind date. And he said immediately he knew he was going to marry me.
That's amazing.
Wow. Nice.
I was reluctant. I was young. I was cute. I had a lot of friends. And then he went into the Army during Korea. And that first week I realized, gee, I love this man. Mm. I was also very mature. Mm-hmm. And we got married. We went to Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland. He never went overseas. So we made it through there.
Oh, that's good.
And then we got home and we both went back to school because we were both very young. And
you were about 16 or 17?
I was 17 in 2 weeks.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. That was very young, yes.
Yeah, very young. And my mother was okay with it. My father was not, but he had to be because we said we'd run off. Mm. I mean, my kids would never have done that. Never. I guess it was different times, different personalities.
Right.
And we were in school, and then eventually we moved out to Bayside, and we had 2 little girls, and then we bought a house on Long Island. It was an exciting time. It was a good time. And he worked. I didn't work. I was home with my children. I didn't start my career. And then I went back to school. I graduated from Stony Brook. I got my degree. And
what was your degree in?
A Bachelor of Liberal Arts.
Okay.
Because I thought about going to law school.
Okay.
And he said, any law school, whatever you want to do. But I liked my family, and I loved my family, and I knew I could go days to school and get my degree. But I knew law school would be much more of a dedication. So I didn't go to law school, and I enrolled at Adelphi for an MBA. I went for a few months, and I withdrew, which was very unlike me, totally out of character.
Right.
And I decided I wanted to be in the real world. The professors were all in the world of academia.
Right.
And I I took some temp jobs to see what I would like.
Okay.
And I went into the computer world.
Interesting.
And because of that, even though I didn't have computer science background, but I sold. I was tenacious. I was persistent. And as you know from my email address, success5
Yes.
at iCloud.com.
I like that email.
My nephew said to me, "Why 5? You will number 1." However, I had a very successful career. My husband was very supportive. As I said, when I graduated from Stony Brook, he should have walked across the stage with me. But he didn't, of course.
Okay.
So I had a successful career, and we had a pretty nice life. And our girls were growing up, and they were lovely young women. I was very on top of them, very on top of them. And we had a big swimming pool, so we always had company, and I always had to know all of their friends. I was very overprotective.
No, I think that was a good thing to do.
And my husband, I thought we would grow old together. I always wrote on greeting cards, "Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be." He passed away 14 and a half years ago.
Okay.
Your marriage was, how long was your marriage?
57 years.
57 wonderful years. Yes.
That I can do, right?
Yes.
And my girls worried. They said, "Well, you went from Nanny's house to Daddy's house. How are you going to manage?" But, you know, I walked along Boulevard East. I lived in Riviera Towers then. I walked along Boulevard East every morning at 7 o'clock. I didn't sleep very much. And it was cathartic for my head and my heart. And eventually, I got back to living. And then I sold the apartment and moved to New York. I'm near Lincoln Center. I love it. I participate in everything.
That's fabulous.
What do you love about New York so much?
Well, last night I was at the theater. Saturday I'll be at the theater. And there are all price tickets, so it's not prohibitive all the time. Sometimes it is prohibitive. I can pop into a museum very easily. I can meet a friend for coffee or for lunch. And now I'm using a walker, and they're very accommodating. I get on a bus, they lower the bus, and I can go with my walker, so I can be any place. In fact, last night I went by bus both ways.
Okay.
So that was pretty good.
What do you think is the advantage of getting old? I mean, the aging.
The advantages are sometimes you know what's coming, your experience, your frame of reference. The hardest thing about getting old is acceptance. Accepting your limitations.
Right.
I'm still getting around with great difficulty, but I didn't join the museums because I used to just pop in. Now I go once in a while. But accepting the change in your body, losing your friends.
That's true, yes.
I'm trying to think of, well, accepting looking different. I was a cute, pretty woman, and I feel now I've aged, so I no longer look the same. And that, it sounds immodest saying that. I know that. But it's the way I feel, and I'm being very honest with you. I wouldn't say that to my kids,
Right.
but or to my friends. But you want honesty. That's a difficulty, and the doctors keep saying just do whatever you're doing. So I keep walking a couple of miles a day, but I used to walk 4 to 7 miles a day.
I see.
Well, you're not staying home, that's for sure.
I'm not staying home. I did the Avon Walk, when it was a 3-day walk 23 years ago. My younger daughter was diagnosed with cancer, and I did the Avon Walk. It was 60 miles for 3 days.
I remember.
And she said to me, I was still working, and she said, "You raised so much money. Stop. You don't have to do the walk." It was cathartic for the head and the heart.
I see. Wow. What do you think is the misconception the people have about aging?
Well, a lot of people, a lot of younger people, will put you on a shelf, and you become invisible and irrelevant. My sister-in-law said to me, "You were certainly not invisible. You were certainly not irrelevant." But I do believe people do that. So when I'm with my children or my grandchildren, I love hearing the conversation and the differences and the opinions. And so they think, well, maybe this little old lady, if they think that. My granddaughter says nobody thinks that.
No.
But I always
You're
interact.
always
and
engaging. You're
Always.
engaging and not just listening, but you're engaging.
Yes. Yes. And my son-in-law knew how he was in that business. He had been a lawyer and he gave it up and he went into that business. And he always says, he tells the kids how successful. It was a wonderful career. That's another thing. When I worked, my identity, I was wife, I was mother, but
You have
I
your
had-
own identity.
I had my own,
Right.
definitely. And I was very opinionated. I wasn't always a team player. I felt I could do it myself.
Miss Independence. Yes.
So that I had to sort of compromise a little bit, but not too much. And maybe that wasn't so great, but made money for my companies and for me.
That's where the success 5 comes from. And why is it 5? Can I go back to that?
Because my husband's birthday was on the 5th.
Oh, okay.
What month?
August. He was
August.
a Leo.
I see.
I'm a
okay.
Scorpio.
Oh, you're Scorpio. I see.
Very passionate match.
What is your passion of your life? And how is it evolving?
My passion was to be successful. And maybe that was my father's influence.
Your father was a businessman?
No, my father drove a taxi cab. My father was not an educated man. He came from Russia, and he spoke a few languages, and he was a very difficult man.
I see.
And both my sister and I married men who were feminists. My father was a chauvinist,
Oh, I
Oops.
see.
Okay.
the original chauvinist. So he had a lot to deal with. 2 women in those days. My husband, all those years ago, was a feminist. My sister's husband, too.
Oh, boy.
So maybe we were looking for the opposite of my. I don't know. I was young, so I don't know what I was looking for.
You were attracted to that type. Yeah, probably.
So my husband was the mild-mannered Clark Kent.
Wow.
He
Superman.
and he was successful.
I see.
But we both worked very hard, 24/7.
Wow.
But we played hard, and we traveled a lot. And that business, you could travel and be on the phone.
So you've traveled to many places abroad, correct? Where would be your most favorite place to visit?
Italy. Italy was, I can say that in a second. We've traveled all over, but Italy was our favorite. When we'd get to Italy, we were home. Like many Jewish people say when they get to Israel, they're home.
Yes.
People said to us, you must have been Italian in another life, because when we'd get to Italy, we were home.
Wow.
And we spread that. My older daughter and my older granddaughter has that feeling. She's been to Italy maybe 8, 9, 10 times.
Wow, that's
Wow. I see.
And she rarely speaks Italian. She took Italian for 4 years, but she feels about Italy the way we feel about it. But both my grandchildren loved to travel because we would take them with us. And my daughter would say, "What kind of vacation is that?" They were like sponges. It was so wonderful.
Just granddaughter. You didn't take your daughter. That trip was
Our
with...
daughters we took when they were young. They were never sponges. They didn't love museums. And my daughters we took on other trips.
See.
I don't want to cry, so I will just mention I lost my older daughter a year and a half ago, but I'm not going to go into it because I'll cry. Yeah. And we all talk about her with good memories.
Oh, yes, that's the best way.
And we talk about my husband because my granddaughters knew him. So there's always something funny. Up at camp, he put a banana in his pocket and he slipped on the dirt up at camp. We were all hysterical. He had a mashed banana. I mean, these are funny things and these are wonderful things that we bring up.
I think you should always keep those type of memories because I have a girlfriend that I work with. She passed away from, I think, not ovarian, some type of cancer. We were only friends for 3 years, but even now I have her cactus that she gave me. I inherited, and I talk to it every day. And I think she and I have our little silent conversations.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, she was a good person. I think those memories. You have to cherish them.
Definitely.
Yeah, I believe that those people who passed away, they don't pass away as long as we remember them. And they are in our heart.
You're very spiritual.
Yes.
I am too. Are you?
Yes.
So, okay, go back to our additional questions. Maybe can you tell us about your morning routine?
My morning routine. I get up.
What's for
Breakfast is usually avocado toast. Mine is the best avocado toast. I mix it with hummus. And when I buy it outside, it irritates me. I love food and I love a good meal. And I don't complain about the price, except for avocado toast. When they charge $18 or $19 for avocado toast, and mine is so delicious. And then I shower, I get ready. And if I have an early appointment, sometimes I have a few events during the day, things to do. So I'll rush out. Sometimes I don't have to rush out, and I put on NBC, I listen to the news, and everything is very light. So it's an easy way to start the day.
I see.
You try to have a nice, calming,
Yes.
relaxing, not rush. Try to.
I try that,
Right.
but if I
Yeah,
have
I mean,
too many
sometimes
things
you're gonna
going
have a
on.
rushed
Right,
day,
right.
Do you have a beauty routine because you kept your beauty at
No,
the
I
age?
shower. No, I didn't use creams all the years. That's funny. My dearest friend died the same day my husband died. Can you imagine losing
Wow.
14 and a half years ago? And we were very close, but so funny. She had a lot of wrinkles early on, so she'd buy creams. She used to spend a fortune on creams.
$400 for a small jar.
Crazy things. But I miss her. But I'm very close to her children, but her grandchildren. So
That's
I'll go
nice.
out with them. I take them to lunch now and then. And we have a wonderful time. That's like family.
Wow.
So
That's
when I think about the beauty
great.
routine, mine was nothing. I used Pond's cold cream.
Pounds gold cream.
That was a basic. I think my parents used to use that too. I mean, they had a very basic routine at that time.
Right.
You
Right,
didn't
the
have
kids-
like the 7 to 10 steps on how to do your face,
Yes, yeah, that's it. The kids use so many different creams and
Right. Sometimes people in 20s use expensive cream, but the ladies in 90s, they don't use anything, and the skin condition is better for the lady in their 90s.
They're not letting their skin breathe. If you put
Maybe.
all that excess Even makeup. They sometimes it's too much makeup. A little light. Put a little makeup on, but you don't have to cake it on there.
But the makeup business went out kaput during COVID.
Oh yeah.
And for a long time afterward. I don't put on much makeup every day because I'm wearing a mask, and I am very cautious.
I see the mask.
So I wear a mask. Normally, I would not be sitting here like this. When I play cards, when I play canasta, I'm the only one at the table that wears a mask.
Yeah, we have a friend. She wears a mask.
To be cautious.
To be
yes.
cautious. Yeah.
Right.
Of course, that's understandable.
Let's ask a favorite question.
Okay.
What's your favorite question?
What's your favorite question, Debbie?
The one that is question number 13.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Question number 13 is, please imagine that you are Marie Antoinette. The night before the execution by guillotine, angels appear and offer you your last meal. So any dish or food that you love, what would that be?
In a second, I know. Baby lamb chops. Everybody I knew that went to a new restaurant, if they had baby lamb chops, I'd get a call.
Okay.
And a square knish, a potato knish. Do you know what that is?
Yes, yes.
That too. I guess that would be my favorite. And a good Caesar salad
Okay.
with anchovies.
Are you a good cook? You must have been.
I was a good cook, even though my my older one remembered me cooking. My younger one says, "Oh, Grandma never cooked." However, I ran into one of her old boyfriends, a boyfriend of 4 years, and it was a long time ago, and he said, "Your mom was such a good cook." But
Good.
there was a period I did cook, but then I stopped. I like a lot of spice, so I invent things.
Experiment.
Experiment, yes.
I see. Very exciting.
That's your creative side.
Right. I'm creative mentally, and I can tell you, but I'm not really good.
Yeah, but you can be
sewing.
creative in other things, other ways.
Oh, in other ways,
Yeah,
yes.
you don't have to draw or
Right.
be
No, I'm
that
not
type
an,
of creative.
I'm not an
But
artist.
you can be creative, like say for myself, I like to take photos. I compose my photos a certain way. That's how since I don't draw, I compose my pictures and my landscapes.
And that's beautiful.
And collage.
Yeah, collages.
Yes. I'm not very
And
creative.
Yugo's doing her creative style, doing a podcast.
I'm not very creative hand-wise.
But you're putting this together. That's creative.
She's doing a very
Thank
good
you.
job doing that.
I'm lucky to have great guests and wonderful support from Debbie, the co-host,
That's very nice.
and the great studio, 40, and they have the
This is a
best-
wonderful studio.
Yes, the people, the engineers work here are wonderful too.
It makes your job a less stressful. Like the setup. You could just sit, everything's prepared for you, and just proceed with your podcast.
That's wonderful. So they're very talented people.
Of course, yeah. But you kept your attractiveness all through your age. So you are aging gracefully with style, and I'm very intimidated to get old. So if you can give me advice.
I think a lot of people are intimidated. I hear from other women, other senior women. We have a coffee clutch, a few friends on Zoom, and they're intimidated by everything. You just have to let go. Letting go, I think, is major. Letting go and just be you. And you can be you. You can say a lot of things now that at this age, that you couldn't say before. People say, well, she's an older woman. But I'm very careful, but I think about, I'm not intimidated by getting old. I don't think you should be. If you could just let go. Acceptance, as I said before. If you can accept,
I think that's a big issue for some people. Yeah.
Yes.
a very big issue, very big. Accepting all your losses, people, your body,
Right.
Your beauty.
your beauty.
That's a big issue for some people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you compare yourself with that when you were 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, you feel happier or content?
I'm content now. I can't say I'm happier. I'm happy with where I am. When I sit down by Lincoln Center, I say, I'm glad I'm here. I can't say I'm happier because I miss too many people.
Right.
But,
Your wonderful husband,
right,
your daughter.
right.
Yes.
I had a wonderful husband.
So what age group? So you think it was maybe your 40s or 50s you were your happiest, or younger than that?
I was very successful in my 50s.
Okay.
Very successful. And my husband, there's a word in Yiddish, kvel. He took pride. He kveled with everything I did. He was never intimidated by my successes.
You had a very supportive husband.
Very supportive.
Right.
And my girls married nice men because I worried about that. How will they find a man? Because they knew what their father
You
was
gave
like.
them those guidelines.
I guess.
The guidelines, and then they took it from there.
Right. And
You
all
know-
of our expectations were
Right.
up here.
Right. You gave them a foundation. You gave them
guess.
guidelines, and then from there they built from there.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not only you are successful in business, but successful in life, in family life, especially.
Yes. Yeah. At my granddaughter's wedding, one of should I keep? Yeah. One of my grandson-in-law's uncles was a difficult man, and he came over to me and he said to me, "You did a wonderful job." I said, "I had nothing to do with making the wedding." So he pointed to my daughters.
I see.
And my daughter, with the two girls, has done a wonderful job.
So it's
Lovely young women.
generations of happy family.
From generation to generation.
Wonderful.
Yeah, all that good vibes and positivity, and
That's what the
It's
success is about, really, I think. And so, Rita, thank you so much for coming today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Rita. I really enjoyed our conversation together.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
You for
you.
having me.
Thank
It was fun reminiscing.
Yes. But
I could see the smile on your face when you talk about your husband and your children, your grandchildren, and even your friendships with people. It's wonderful.
right.
I've made wonderful friends.
Thank you. It was so
My
great
pleasure.
to have you. Thank you so much for
I
coming.
am so happy
over.
I got to meet you and get to know you better.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you.